itself. Where possible, the affected material can be traced to existing individuals. However, when questioned under duress, said individuals invariably deny having written the affected material and deny all existence of the fictitious media mentioned within. Except, of course, if you ask the authors of these works. They have no idea what you're referring to. SCP-2747 has never been documented in real time. All observed instances thus far have been recorded post hoc. No instances have been documented prior to January 2008. The reason for this was previously unknown, but it is now known that it conforms to pataphysical observations documented in full in Appendix B. This starts by saying that we've never seen it actually happen. We've only seen the after effects, and we have no idea why. But then this was altered due to new information, and that word pataphysical shows up. If you're not familiar with this term, here's a refresher. Meta describes reality using symbols, like a metaphor. Jane slept like a baby. Peta describes the meta like meta describes reality. It's one step up. Jane slept like a baby which had tired itself out, destroying the playroom like a tornado. It is the current hypothesis of the Department of Analytics that SCP-2747 represents evidence of a naturally occurring anafabula, or anti-narrative, a cluster of independent signs, iconography, and naremes that, when included to a sufficient extent within a fictional construct, leads to mutual annihilation. Nareme here is a fundamental unit of narrative, akin to a trope or concept. The farm boy with noble heritage, the magic sword, darkness, etc. This means if you have the right set of signs, icons, and concepts occurring in a fictional universe, the combination annihilates the fictional universe from the real world. Real as far as the Foundation is concerned anyway. First-hand reconstruction of the anafabula's properties is impossible, given its anomalous nature, but second-hand and third-hand descriptions have been generated from observational procedure Lucid Chalice and appended below. See Appendix B. Because the anafabula annihilates the fictional universe it appears in, there's no way to study it directly, which is why the Foundation is piecing things together with their mass-produced fiction. It can affect through layers of metafictional narrative, i.e. a meta-narrative containing the anafabula will cease to exist within the narrative, followed by the narrative itself disappearing from our reality. And this is where things start to get interesting. Say you have a movie which contains a book. In the book inside the movie, which the characters describe the plot of, the anafabula forms. The first thing that'll happen is that the movie will continue to exist, but without the book. Characters will still reference the book as they did before, but the book itself will be gone. At some undefined point after that, the movie itself will vanish from reality. There's also a footnote here.
This interpretation of pataphysical reality layers of metafictional narrative has yet to be verified by Foundation observations at large, but appear concurrent with observations obtained from transfictional anomalies such as SCP-1304, SCP-2614, and 001 redacted.
This means that the Foundation, through looking at anomalies that deal with multiple layers of fiction, has theorized that they themselves are in a fictional universe, and that all of reality is fictional universes contained within each other. I.e., we write about the Foundation, which writes about a book, which contains a movie, etc. We also do learn one thing about our anafabula. A key identifier of the anafabula is that it invariably represents an in-universe antagonist or anathema in all manifestations of SCP-2747, likely due to inherent nareme components indicating its alien, yet centralizing nature.
Update. The above-mentioned hypothesis has been confirmed as a working model of SCP-2747. Please refer to Appendix B.
This theory, reality itself being multiple layers of fiction, works as a model to predict SCP-2747,
especially now that the
747, if nothing else. Next are some instructions that say what will change in the containment procedures if the Foundation is ever able to fully deduce and describe the anafabula from Lucid Chalice.
Update. The following procedures are to be enacted following the successful conclusion of Observational Procedure Lucid Chalice. See Appendix B. At no time are the properties of the anafabula as outlined in Appendix B to arise in real life, whether as a result of deliberate or natural action. Any object, person or event bearing more than significance level alpha to the semblance threshold is to be altered via whatever means possible. Access to information regarding SCP-2747, especially the information contained within Appendix B, is to be strictly limited to clearance levels 42747 and 3 analytics. Due to the pataphysical implications and inherent uncontainability of SCP-2747 as detailed in Appendix B, it is to be classified as Keter with immediate effect.
The Foundation, with their theory that they themselves are in a fictional narrative, do not want the anafabula to ever be assembled in their reality, as that would then lead to the annihilation of their world. Because of this, Appendix B, which contains the results of Lucid Chalice, the Foundation's full understanding of the anafabula's nature and how it works is restricted to need-to-know personnel only. Appendix A is a list of SCP-2747 manifestations, situations where this
Coming at you from STEM Lab, guys.
fictional narrative clearly existed at one point, but now has been wiped from reality. The descriptions of the annihilated fictions do give us some clue to the nature of the anafabula due to common themes.
Turns for you.
Those themes include darkness, shadow, black objects, fiction being annihilated, and the inability to complete or create a fictional work. The annihilated works cataloged here include Taitoru, a Japanese animated film, I.O., a musical album, and
Morning here,
the Scully Pendro Wiki, a collaborative fiction wiki specializing in horror. And here's the core to the article, the juicy center we've all been waiting for. Appendix B, the observations and conclusions from Lucid Chalice. This is what the Foundation has learned about the anafabula, how it's formed, the characteristics of it, everything collected into a single place. It's as complete of a description of the anafabula that can be formed.
Data lost.
Really, though, we should have expected that. If you collect a full description of a purely fictional entity, what's the difference between the description of that entity and the entity itself? Only the Foundation could look an apocalypse in the eye and feel annoyed by it. They have another one to add to the list. So, here we are. The Foundation discovered a recursive, fiction-annihilating phenomenon which has a lot to do with dark, shadowed structures, a sentient, antagonistic entity, and fiction being annihilated. There's that recursion again. It has destroyed who knows how many fictional narratives, destroyed the narratives that contain those that it's already destroyed, and finally chewed its way up to the Foundation's lair. Now, by studying the anafabula so heavily, the Foundation has accelerated its own destruction by giving it so many opportunities to enter their universe.
Mix the
And
Red
by
Bull,
creating
hot
one
sauce,
in the
and a
layer
bunch of
just
other
beneath
stuff
them.
in a...
Did it have a
Seems
start?
like hazing
Was
to
there
me.
some
I'm just
poor
saying,
hapless
Sharps.
scientist, an
know
infinite
what could go
number of
wrong.
layers down who
Some
created
nonsense
this,
that doesn't
and
need
it's
to be
been
done
chewing
for
its
being
way up
built
the
in lots
entire
of
time?
their way.
Or is it just entropy manifesting in another manner? Is it turtles all the way down? Honestly, though, can you imagine how terrible it would be to lose the Foundation? Imagine the entire SCP Wiki just vanishing, and all there would be to describe it would be posts like this, cataloging an annihilated universe. And then we'd follow suit. Don't play with recursion, kids. You'll never stop. Alright. Thanks again to Chaltak and Taffeta, and also Min Min, for writing the article itself. And that about does it today. Thank you for listening. If indeed you still are, and you're all dismissed again. Goodbye.